Hello and welcome to the Golden Gloves Chat Show. With me is Mandla Ntlanganiso. Got it right that time. Mandla, you're from East London, from Ndletsani. You're a boxing man. You're the Director of Operations, COO of Boxing South Africa. First time guest of ours. Welcome. Thank you for being our guest on the Golden Gloves Chat Show. I've got so much to talk to you about. Firstly, I wanted to ask you, where does the boxing background come from? Because I know you're an ex-boxer from Ndletsani. Talk to us where it all started for you.
Well, Brian, thanks for having me today in this show. If you grow up in Tanzania, East London, I'm not sure how would you miss the bug of boxing.
Yes.
Because, it's the bug that just, contaminate everyone that is there.
Yes.
So as a young boy growing up in Tanzania, the most popular sport there in the area is boxing.
It's boxing.
Yeah.
Is it bigger than soccer there?
It's bigger than soccer.
Really?
Yeah.
I asked somebody that question one day, because obviously I go to East London a lot to commentate boxing, and everyone loves me there, and I love the people there because they're the greatest boxing fans. And I asked the guy one day, is boxing even bigger than soccer, football? And they said, yes.
The biggest sport.
Amazing,
you go, people on the streets, they are just doing shadow boxing.
Really?
When gentlemen are talking, their shadow boxing is like, it's like in the blood. So that bug caught me, while I was still 6-7 years old. Then that's when the boxing thing started. As an amateur boxer.
Okay.
Then
so you had a few fights done in East London?
Yes, all my fights were in East London. Then my last fights were in Cape Town.
Okay.
At the Peninsula University.
Did your family move to Cape Town?
No. I went there to study in Cape Town.
Okay.
Yes.
You carried on boxing.
And then I carried on boxing. Then that's when I started with administration now. After I finished my studies.
So you're like 42 years old now, right?
Yes.
Who did you look up to those years? Because, there's such legends that come from there. All my friends, the guys like Welcome Nita and Viyani Bungu and Hawk Makapula. I love those guys.
Yes. There's quite a lot. But the first guy who brought me into boxing is my former trainer, Makayandile Filita. He's the guy who had the boxing gym. That's where the likes of Zandisile Kyonashe, where the Jamzashe brothers, they came from that particular gym. Then the likes of Welcome, the likes of Vianney, the likes of Mbulelo, and the likes of Brian Mitchell, and many others, Johnny Duploy, were the boxers that were really made us to love boxing more, because they were glaring, at the time, always on TV, as I'm always saying now that at that time, I used to have a Boxing World magazine every month, going through the boxers, cutting them up, in my books, I had all the pictures of the champs. So I've been a big fan of the sport. So I think I'm here now just to plow back and just to make sure that at least the sport, goes to where it's supposed to.
Fantastic. Well, that's what I want to talk to you more about. Now you're the COO of Boxing South Africa. You went from a young man that was an amateur boxer to one of the big guys in boxing, one of the guys that we need for on BSA. Just as a background for the viewers that don't know, for the layman terms, what is your, as position as CEO, what is kind of the background thing that you do to promote the sport?
COO or Director Operations is mainly the heart of boxing, where sanctioning of all the fights, they happen there. Making sure that the issues of compliance. Remember, boxing is a highly regulated sport in terms of health of the boxers, in terms of all the compliances that must be met before a tournament is sanctioned. So all those kind of regulatory requirements, they come to my office. Okay. Making sure that promoters, they apply on time, making sure that the halls that we take the tournaments to, are credible halls, the ring is properly secured, all those kind of compliances, as per regulations, they go through my office. So that's the background work that we are doing, sanctioning of credible tournaments, ratings of boxers, making sure that the issues of development are also looked at, training and development of boxing licensees, your boxers,
yes.
Your managers and trainers, your promoters and all that. However, I'm still, it's the ninth month now. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. And there's a lot of vision, that is there for the new administration in terms of putting the sport where it's supposed to be. Because the sport of boxing, in your era, Brian, the chairperson calls it the golden years. In that era, we had more than 8 to 7 world champions at one go. But now we just had one credible world champion, Sivenathi Nonjinga. What does it say about our boxing in the country?
Yes, but in one sense, I agree with you. Thank you that it was golden time with all the world champions. But I want to thank you for what you, in 9 months, what you've achieved, what you're doing. I mean, I've seen just this year, how many SA title fights have we had? How many provincial title fights have we had? International fights that we've had. And that's thanks to guys like yourself. So, and all these young promoters coming through, it's brilliant. I'm so excited. I've been in the boxing game for over 50 years. And every weekend I see there's a new promoter, there's a new event happening. And other than Golden Gloves, who's been going for 45 years, that's thanks to guys like yourself, that these new promoters, this young blood is coming through. Female promoters and young promoters. So well done. I wanted to say well done on that.
Thanks to that. You see, we have a lot of talent when it comes to boxing, when it comes to boxers. We don't have a problem there. But if, as a boxing fraternity, we can have a shared vision, we will be able to achieve, every weekend wherein we make sure that there is a boxing tournament. And to make sure that development is also looked at.
Absolutely.
Because the first priority that we are looking at, bring back the provincial titles. The provincial titles are very key.
Development back.
That's the development. In order for you to go for a national title,
win a provincial title.
Win a provincial title.
When people ask me what was it like in my day, obviously it was Transvaal, it wasn't Gauteng.
Yes.
Old days. But you had to win a Transvaal title.
Exactly.
Before you could fight for the SA title.
Exactly.
You couldn't just go fight for the SA title. And obviously that's what you guys are looking at changing now. You must be a Gauteng champion or a provincial champion.
Yes.
And
then you are able to go.
And that's what you're trying to do for development.
This is what we also want to encourage, that our promoters, in their bills, they need to put in the provincial titles, because now it's starting to get credibility. And as you say, at that time, it was not easy to go for an SA title. I know there are special boys or girls, who could have 4 fights, like Azinga Fuzile. With 4 fights, he became an SA champion. Yes. Yeah, but not everyone is special like that. But if we strengthen the development part, making sure that, like the last bill of Golden Gloves, when I checked the bill there, I could see that 0 fights, 1 or 2 fights, which is something that we encourage. Exactly. So we need that promotion, so that because you get a Mexican boxer coming to fight for a world title, the boxer is already at 29 fights. You get a South African boxer with only 9 fights. Yeah. So it means that there is a gap there.
Yeah.
So if we keep the development, we keep our boxers busy, with 5 fights or 6 fights a year. Those that are still, with little fights there, then it means that person is getting more experience.
And the only way we can do that is for more promoters to come on board,
exactly,
more events to happen,
exactly,
and more fights to be sanctioned like you guys are doing.
Exactly.
So, Mandla, fantastic talking to you. That's exactly what I wanted to hear, and I'm excited to hear that. So, thank you, my friend, for giving up your time. And hopefully this is not our last chat on the Golden Gloves chat show. We want to chat to you a lot more. And in 9 months, once again, fantastic job what you've done. You really have done incredible. Last word from you about the state of boxing in South Africa at the moment and where you'd like to see it?
Thank you, Brian, for that. I think we have a future. I only believe on a shared vision. If we have a shared vision, look at our ratings. There are some gaps in some of the divisions. What can we do as a collective to make sure that out of the 17 weight divisions, all the 11 contenders there, the champion, number 1 up to number 10, from mini flyweight up to heavyweight, we've got a complete set of ratings. That's the first thing that we need to do. How can we work together as promoters to make sure that we deliver that? Because at the end of the day, promoters can't go left, BSA goes right, licenses, they go to a different direction.
Let's work as a team.
Let's work as a team. Look at our heavyweight division, for instance. Up to number 5 or number 4, in terms of how can we make sure that we've got bigger boys coming on board so that our heavyweight division can be active.
Yes.
So these are the kind of discussions that we need to have.
The opportunities.
Let's create the opportunities.
Like obviously a lot of our big guys are Afrikaans guys that go to rugby because they don't get the opportunity.
Yes.
And it's the same with a lot of our young black guys in the township. There's no gym for them.
Exactly.
Close enough. So if we can create those opportunities, give young guys an opportunity to become a boxer if you want to.
Yes.
Or big guy an opportunity to become a heavyweight boxer. It's about creating the opportunities.
It's about creating the opportunities and make boxing attractive.
For sure.
Remember, there's a lot of competitive sports nowadays. There's a lot of other arts and culture programs that are in our communities. But how do we make boxing to be one of the attractive sports, that our youngsters can come up with, And it's business, by the way.
And boxing is one of the big sports in the world.
Exactly.
We can't say, well, boxing is not a big sport, that's why we're not doing enough for it. It's a massive sport.
Yes.
The highest paid sportsman on the planet is Tyson Fury and these guys, Canelo Alvarez got $45 million now to fight Triple G.
Yeah.
So it's a massive sport in the world. So we can't say in South Africa it's not a big sport. We need to promote it. And thanks again, once again, we're in the same team. So
thank you, Brian.
As our guest.
Okay, thank you
nice
very much.
Chatting to you. And thank you very much for being our guest, man.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Yeah, highly appreciated. Thank you very much.
Me, Brian Mitchell. Thank you for watching.